YouTube, what is going on today? So last weekend, Terrifier 3 ended up dropping, and we already got to talk about it. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I would recommend going to watch it before watching this review, unless you want to know what it's kind of about. This movie came out last weekend, like I said before, so I'm assuming if you're watching, you've probably seen it already. I just figured I'd give my thoughts because this year we've gone back to rewatch all of the Terrifier movies as well as All Hallows Eve. And, these movies are really earning a spot up there for me in my top horror movies. So, that being said, with the third movie dropping, it has really become a global success on behalf of Damien Leone and, of course, David Howard Thornton and the rest of the amazing cast. Everyone has done a really great job with the series so far, and it really seems like they are getting better in their craft each time. Everything between the sound design, plot, the acting, the character development, everything has kind of been upgraded in this movie. Now, where do I stand with the movies? I don't know. It's hard to say. I know Terrifier 2 really was the movie to bring plot to the series instead of being just like a gory slasher, which it did a great job with. Now, I will say Terrifier 2 had a very lengthy sort of vibe to it. They're innovating the series in a way that is important to the fans, and they're really making quality movies as compared to like their earlier projects, that being All Hallows Eve and the Terrifier short film, just kind of testing the waters to see how this character would kind of act in a movie. And as I said before, this movie feels like all the good things of part 1, 2, and 3 all together. It's got great humor, it's got great character development, it's got great kills, it's got great gore, all of the good stuff. So one of the first things I noticed when sitting down in the theater and when the movie came on, oddly enough, was the sound design. So in the opening scene, what you get is Art getting into a house, and he ends up terrorizing this family and dismembering all of them. And just the scene of seeing the little girl listening to her brother just get absolutely destroyed in the other room, dismembered, and all that fun stuff. Just the sound design was very crisp, if that makes sense. And it is really apparent throughout different scenes of the movie. And I really remember thinking they have great sound design with that grainy camera look to give it sort of like a retro feel to it. It's very interesting to see how they did it because so I wanted to touch on the plot a little bit and definitely the characters. So the characters in this movie were just really well written, in my opinion. I think all of the characters just felt like different people, if that makes sense. You get a little bit of their personalities through some of the things that they say and the way they act. And the character that kind of stands out when I say this is, I forget her name, but the girl that is the podcaster doing the true crime. She's very pushy with Jonathan. And, Jonathan, for example, he kind of keeps the quiet aspect to his character from the last movie, but you could see he's trying to lighten up after his past trauma. You do get some glimpses of his trauma, and I really do think his acting specifically have just gotten way better since the last movie. You could tell he's been practicing, putting in the good work for it. And speaking of acting, I really think Sienna really had like the best character development in the movie, as well as just really good acting coming from the actress. I really do think Lauren Lavera worked her ass off for this movie. I did see some interviews of her talking about like the scene where she's just strapped down to the chair, trying to escape, and the physical limit that she put on herself was just very interesting to see coming from her specifically. You could tell that she really cares about giving the best performance. And you could definitely notice the level of acting, I guess, is just enhanced between the second and third movie. So she definitely did a great job. So, saving some of the good stuff for the end now, I wanted to touch on art. Now, goddamn, David Howard Thornton really just went crazy for this one. Like, he really just got the character down to a T from the past few movies. And I really just love seeing these clips of Art meeting Santa Claus and just freaking out, acting like a little kid. It's the most hilarious thing. He really brought out his mime characteristics, and I think it just worked perfectly for this movie. Art the Clown is one of the slasher movies or slasher characters that just has so much character to him, kind of like how Freddy Krueger or Chucky have just a good amount of character to them compared to the Silent Stalkers. Now, he is a silent stalker, but the way he just conveys emotion through facial expression and hand gestures and like body language is just so strong in these movies. And within every single movie, it's just gotten better. And honestly, dude, watching these scenes where he's just being silly is just hilarious. Like, I was cracking up watching him interact with Santa Claus, sitting on his lap and pissing himself, and Santa Claus getting upset. Still trying to give him a chance and being like a decent guy about it. Just really entertaining, just super random shit to put in the movie. Another great highlight was Sienna's cousin. The inclusion of her was really refreshing to see. Introducing a character all of a sudden and being like a main character of the movie, not a lot of times can be done right. I do think they did it right. Something that comes to mind is Corey from the Halloween Ends movie. I really think they got his character right, but introducing that character in a previous movie probably would have made a little bit less fluff in the movie happen. So I do think that they kind of nailed the family dynamic, especially her getting out of the mental institute, coming straight home to the family. We get just, a quick interaction with them, get to know what the family's like, seeing how they interact together. You could tell that they've had past experience, and the acting, again, just shines bright in all these scenes. And speaking of which, the acting with all the family together really helps cement like the emotion. Another thing that does come to mind with the emotion is the flashback scenes. Now, I really loved the flashback scenes because they really did help add some lore to the background, as well as just kind of create that emotional connection with Sienna's dad that we didn't really know too much of. So we know that he drew these characters, and that's really about it. And it was just really nice to just get the visualization and to see how these two connected before his passing. So Art kind of had this like buddy-buddy relationship with Vicky, or at least the entity that was possessing Vicky. And first watch wasn't 100% like enjoying it. I don't know if that's the right word. It was enjoyable to see the two just committing these heinous acts, but I think it was just a little strange seeing two slashers just kind of do their thing together. Now, I really did like the pale girl in the second movie, and I know actress is getting older, and they kind of just want to bring new ideas, keep Vicky around. I do think it's a smart idea to have Vicky back. I think I'd get used to it again in further watches, but definitely an interesting duo. Not one I would have expected to ever see, but it's definitely pretty interesting to see. Now, the kills specifically, man, these were gruesome, bloodier, better than what we've seen so far. Of course, the bedroom scene is going to stand out as one of the best, as well as the saw scene. But, man, I mean, they went crazy in this movie, especially with, like, the shower scene just being extremely, extremely brutal to watch. I mean, even from like the opening first few kills, the kills in the prison, everything was just done top notch with the special effects. Not something that can be easily done, I know for sure, and something that we've strayed away from in recent times with, the inclusion of CGI in movies. I really think that their props have just gotten way better, and everything they've done, man, is crazy. Like, just, I don't know, Damien Leone, he's got some thoughts for kills because that is just wild what they do to certain people in the movie. And you never really know how much potential someone really has until they get that budget, which they definitely work their asses off for. So, hats off to everyone who made Terrifier 3, 2, 1, All Hallows Eve, all that fun stuff. I really enjoyed this movie. If you guys want to see any more quick reviews or anything like that, go ahead and leave me a comment. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I will get my area set up so we could do some in-person footage too. So yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm coming out with my second part to the Terrifier rehaul that I did. If anyone is interested in seeing that, that'll come out within the next week or so. And we have just about finished the Art the Clown display piece. So stick around for that if you guys are new here. Appreciate you for watching the full video, and I will see you guys next time.